For this project, I interviewed Andrew Bennett, who works in the Office of Sustainability at ISU, and he's pictured to the right of the slide. The first question I asked him is, what is the importance of recycling, especially at a university the size of ISU? And he responded to, it's important because it is important to reduce the amount of resources and materials that end up in the landfills that end up breaking down and can eventually contaminate groundwater as well as release methane into the atmosphere. Recycling materials also saves valuable energy from manufacturing the same item from virgin materials. One great example about saving energy is the aluminum can. Recycling one aluminum can saves enough energy to power a TV for 3 hours versus extracting the material from mines, etc. Manufacturing with recycled commodities in Illinois reduces greenhouse gas emissions by more than 4 million tons, which is the carbon equivalent, a year. Paper recycling in Illinois saves over 50 million trees each year and the wildlife habitat that goes with them. Due to the size of ISU, our impact on the environment and volume of resources used makes it more important to recycle as much as we can. We recycle over 400,000 pounds of cardboard last year, so just imagine how many trees we saved. The bigger the university, the more important it is to have a comprehensive recycling program due to the volume of the material that would have to be shipped out to the town to the nearest landfill. The second question I asked was, what sort of impact does recycling have on climate change? And he said, recycling keeps items out of the landfill, especially paper products, that would otherwise break down and release methane, which is one of the most harmful gases that escapes into the atmosphere and depletes the ozone layer, allowing for climate change to occur. Recycling reduces the amount of energy needed, such as coal, nuclear, fossil fuels, to create the same product from virgin materials that affects climate change. The third question I asked is, how accessible is recycling at ISU, and how does that compare to the overall accessibility for the Bloomington Normal community? He said, ISU has indoor recycling access in near every campus-owned building. We offer outdoor recycling services around the quad, bone, and many of the other buildings. We have big bellies across campus that offer waste and recycling at one stop. We put out recycling for every event that crosses our table, and especially events like tailgating at football games, as well as move in and move out in major quad events. They recycle all TVs, mini fridges, plastic drawers, and metal that they encounter. We recycle batteries and toner cartridges along with bulbs that are generated on campus. Students who live in the apartment complexes that the university owns have recycling access outside. Students who live in residence halls have recycling access on every floor except at Watterson. This is far more extensive than the community offers, although things have improved as more apartment complexes are offering recycling, but the smaller units are not all required to do so. There are still not enough businesses in the community that recycle or recycle very little, like just cardboard, so that needs to improve. And the fourth question I asked is, what steps can individuals take to help the environment? It said, to try and reduce the amount of materials you consume. Refuse swag given away on campus unless you feel it will get used over a long period of time. Shop at secondhand stores, especially for clothing, as it is very energy intensive to manufacture new clothing with so much leftover going to the landfill. Stay away from single-use plastic and instead use refill mugs, etc. Refuse straws and extra condiments, napkins, paper, and styrofoam cups. Compost leftover food either in your backyard or at the compost kiosks on campus. Educate yourself on what really can be recycled and what contaminates the recycling container. Things that are not recyclable are paper cups, plastic cups, to-go containers from EMDH, straws, napkins. Refuse, reduce, reuse, repair, and then recycle and compost. In that order before throwing things away. And that was all he had to say.